Playfulness might not be a word that you readily associate with meditation. For many people, when they come to it, the, the various traditions requires sitting down quietly. There might be some rules, depending on how orthodox or not orthodox. Those rules might even be rigid. There's a kind of solemnity to it, quietude. So playfulness might not be the first word that comes to mind. So let's take a moment and reflect on what are the characteristics of playfulness. Like, what is playfulness to you? So just take a moment. So words like ease, joy, freedom or lack of restrictions, curiosity, exploration. Those are going to be common words. Going to be others as well. Creativity, maybe. So if you use that as a frame, consider that's what we commonly think of as playful, or the characteristics of playfulness. And then, while it may or may not be your experience of meditation, but if you look at the teachings, and particularly in non-dual traditions, that's what people describe as sort of discovering, nurturing. That's, for lack of a better way to put it, that's the end goal. It's a non-goal goal because it's actually your nature. So it's really remembering, rediscovering, reclaiming that as your original nature, and then finding a way to integrate that into daily life as an adult. So let's work with that. So we'll begin by just doing a few breaths just to calm the body down, just a little pranayama. So you could do box breath, which would be 4 counts, breathing in through the nose, hold that for 4 counts, breathe out through the mouth for 4 counts, hold that for 4 counts. So we'll just start with that, a few box breaths. And then on your own time, just move into normal breathing. And we'll begin by just doing basic mindfulness of the breath. So noticing the breath wherever it's the most noticeable for you. So at the nostrils or the rising and the falling of the chest and belly. So just engaging that mindful witness, the mind that has a little bit of discipline, being able to stay with the breath, just that one thing, guarding the mind's serenity. letting awareness drop down into the body, or opening to the awareness of the body, without having to engage the discursive mind. You don't have to think about awareness of the body. Simply open to it. So now slightly moving away from mindful witness, a more open form of awareness, and just relaxing into it. Doesn't require any effort at all. And then open that awareness, that knowing being, into the room, into the space around you, and noticing that it doesn't have a beginning or an end. The body is not some kind of a boundary, and awareness isn't generated from you exactly. It seems to be here, but it also seems to be out there. So really resting in the experience of non-localized awareness, spacious awareness. So rather than it as a function of, your active mind, which is clearly not true, the mindful witness begins to tell us that, because there's something that's aware of the mind that's watching the breath. So awareness doesn't need an object. And when you taste the form of it without an object, you realize that it's not localized. So rest in that. And feel how it is that it's behind you, below you, above you, extends out as far as you could imagine and beyond. We can't imagine an end to awareness. There is no beginning or end to it. There's nothing outside of it. And if awareness doesn't work for you that way, it could be being. So you can work with that as the image. It's just provisional. We're just trying to open up to the experience of it, not an idea of it. And notice how it is that you and everything else is arising within that unified field. And awareness is what's fundamental. So the playful part starts there, I think. So seeing that, knowing that, feeling that, awareness aware of itself, see how it is that awareness is playing, with becoming aware of itself through this creative process of forms arising, interacting, awareness becoming aware of itself through a virtually infinite variety of ways, constantly shifting, constantly adapting. So first, when you're in this kind of the sky-like consciousness, feeling it, awake awareness all around you, can begin to feel that vibrancy, really feel the dance, and then bring it back in without losing connection with that. So still feeling the dance and seeing that you're one of the dancers. And even the you, the so-called you that's a dancer, has lots of other dancers that make up the you. So it's like dancers all the way down. So that Chan master, Hongzhi, 12th century Chinese teacher, he used the phrase in some of his beautiful little, they're reflections of his experience, but really I think they're also practice instructions that can be taken that way. And he occasionally used the term playing with samadhi or playing in samadhi. So see if you can feel, you don't have to impose. That will actually not work. See if you can feel the inherent playfulness of resting, being a child of this awake, all-pervasive, knowing being world. How it has the character of freedom and ease. Exploration, interest, joy. May you be happy, healthy, and loved.